Hi guys, this is O-Level Chemistry, paper 11, June 2017, question 21. Which statement about sulfuric acid is correct? Sulfuric acid is used as a bleach? No. Chlorine is used as a bleach. In food preservation? No. Sulfur dioxide is used as a food preservative. In the manufacture of detergents? Yes. Sulfuric acid is used. In the purification of drinking water, chlorine is used to purify drinking water. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option C. Question 22. Which row shows the order of increasing pH, lowest to highest, for strong acids, strong bases, weak acids, and weak bases at the same concentration? So, the lowest pH would be that of a strong acid. So, strong acid is there in option A, eliminating all other options, which means option A would be correct, but let's follow the pH trend. So after strong acid comes weak acids, after weak acids would come weak bases, and after weak bases would come strong bases with the highest pH. Therefore, option A is the correct option for this question. Question 23. The table shows the proton numbers of four elements Q, R, T, and Z. Which statement is correct? Looking at the periodic table, we can identify Q as fluorine, R as sodium, T as chlorine, and Z as potassium. Okay, which statement is correct? Q is a metal? No, it is a non-metal. Q is more reactive than T. Fluorine is more reactive than chlorine? Yes, because reactivity increases down the group 7. R is more reactive than Z. R is sodium, Z is potassium. Down group 2, the reactivity is increasing. R is more reactive than Z. No, R is less reactive than Z. Yes, so reactivity is increasing down the group. So sodium being above potassium in group 1 will be less reactive than potassium. And T and Z are in the same period. T is in period 3, Z is in period 4. So the correct option for this question is option B. Question 24. The diagram shows part of the periodic table. Which row about elements W, X, and Y is correct? So W is found in group 1 and is in the third period, so it is sodium. X is also in period 3 and it is in group 3 as well, so this is aluminum. And the last element in period 3 is the noble gas argon. Okay. Which row about the elements W, X, and Y is correct? Combines with oxygen in the ratio 2:3. That is Al2O3. So that would be X. So options A and B have been eliminated. Exists as a single atom and is chemically unreactive. That is the noble gas argon, which has the label of Y. So Y is correct in option D, eliminating option C. And finally, forms a carbonate which is not decomposed by heating in a Bunsen flame, which would be a stable carbonate that would be formed by sodium. Sodium is represented by W, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 25. Lead 2 sulfate can be made by reacting dilute sulfuric acid by which substance? So we are forming an insoluble salt. So an insoluble salt is formed on reaction of acid with a soluble salt. So option A has aqueous lead nitrate. Lead nitrate is soluble. Option B has lead. Lead is a metal. Reaction of lead with sulfuric acid will not produce lead sulfate. Lead carbonate. Lead carbonate is an insoluble salt. An insoluble salt on reaction with an acid does not produce an insoluble salt. So this is incorrect. Lead oxide is also an insoluble salt which will not react with an acid to produce another insoluble salt. So the correct option for this question is option A. Question 26. Which pair gives two uses of argon? Disinfecting water and in balloons. So, disinfection of water is carried out by the use of chlorine gas, and in balloons, we fill helium gas, not argon. Disinfecting water is by chlorine, and in light bulbs is a use of argon. So, both uses are not for argon. In balloons, we would have helium, and in the manufacture of steel, we would use argon. So again, both uses are not for argon. In light bulbs, we would use argon, and in the manufacture of steel, also argon would be used. Therefore, the correct option for this question is option D. Question 27. Which two substances are removed from the bottom of a blast furnace? Coke. Coke does not remain at the end of the reaction in a blast furnace. It is converted into carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Iron. Iron is produced as a molten or liquid metal which is collected at the bottom of the blast furnace. Limestone is used to neutralize the acidic impurity which is SiO2, so it is used up. And slag floats over molten iron at the bottom of the blast furnace and will be removed at the end. Therefore, 2 and 4 being correct makes option D the correct option for this question. Question 28. Which row has the correct catalyst for the name process? So the process is contact process and the catalyst vanadium 5 oxide. This is correct. Next, the process is Haber's process and the catalyst is manganese 4 oxide. This is incorrect. The catalyst would be iron or iron 3 oxide. Next, hydrogenation of alkenes requires nickel, whereas iron is written in the table, so this is incorrect. Photosynthesis requires chlorophyll. Glucose is written in the table. This is also incorrect, making option A the correct option for this question. Question 29. Some metals and the compounds in their ores are shown. So aluminum, calcium, iron, and magnesium and iron are found as not aluminum and iron are found as oxides. Calcium and magnesium are found as carbonates. Lead is found as a sulfide, and sodium is found as a chloride. Which type of reaction occurs in the extraction of each of these metals from their ore? So the salts of iron or sodium or lead or calcium or aluminum or magnesium, all of them will have the metals present as cations, and upon extraction the cations would be reduced to the elemental metal. So all of them will undergo reduction. So the options are decomposition by heat, no. Then we have electrolysis, all of them will not undergo electrolysis. We have precipitation, all of them will not undergo precipitation. Reduction, yes, all of them will be reduced. Therefore, option D is the correct option for this question. Question 30. After the collapse of a river bridge, a new car was immersed in the river water for several months. When it was recovered, the parts of the car made of steel and alloy of iron were found to be corroded. The parts made of aluminum were not corroded. Which statement explains these differences in corrosion? Aluminum has a coating of aluminum oxide. Yes. Aluminum has a very low density. The fact is true, but is not the reasons for aluminum not corroding. Aluminum is an excellent conductor of electricity. Again, this is true for aluminum, but it is not the reason for it not to be corroded. And aluminum is less reactive than iron. This is also true. Aluminum is less reactive than iron, but again, it is not the reason for aluminum not corroding. The only reason that aluminum does not corrode is because it is protected by an oxide layer of aluminum over the entire surface. So this makes option A the correct option for this question.